Am I live? Yep, I am live. What's going on, my good people? Happy Tuesday to y'all. Today is July 4th, 2023. I am Mike the Farmer, here to give y'all an update in my home garden. And I just want to show y'all some of the things I'll be doing today just to transplant some of my plants that have been growing up and getting larger and start moving them to different areas. So I'll show y'all what I have. And don't forget, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so anytime I do any lives, uploads, or whatever it may be, you'll be the first to know. All right, so let me show you what I got. So I already transplanted this that y'all see here into this fabric bag. I went to Lowe's, which is not far from my house. I went to Lowe's and got these canvas gardening bags where you can actually grow potatoes and things like that in them as well. But I want to put some of my plants into them. So this initially was in this pot here. This is some squash here, and then there's the other one of that. Actually moved that one over, but this was actually inside of this pot right here. But it's starting to get larger. It's getting big enough to transplant. They all can grow in this thing together if you know anything about squash. So I just moved that right on out of there. So I took that from there, put it into this canvas bag, and I'm gonna let it do its thing in there. Then I'll be transplanting these tomatoes because I have some customers who are interested in these tomato plants. So I'm gonna start separating these, get them in separate plots so I can take them to the customers. And if anybody else is interested, I do have more, not at this site, but I do have more tomato plants that are growing at our farm site. So just let me know if you're interested in the comment below. You can send me your email or email me at jkithefarmer@gmail.com. I'll respond back. These are some winter starts that I'm starting up, getting them ready so that by the time August, September comes, these will be nice and grown up. I have more tomato, I have some broccoli, I have some kale, and I think I have some collards for the winter as well. Here are my jalapeno as well, and as you can see, they're already starting to develop from them, but you can do what they call topping. If you're not sure what topping is, I do have a video of, I do have a gardening video on my channel where I explain, but I'm going to do some more transplant and see. Oh yeah, you can see I had to put one of my tomato in there so that the darn squirrels don't get to them. So I had that there as well. But I'm going to try to set y'all up so y'all can see what I'm doing. And hopefully y'all be able to continue to see everything that I'm doing. I hope y'all having a great Tuesday. It's hot here in Philly. It's about 89, 90 degrees here in Philly. It's pretty muggy and humid. It is about to start raining again. It's been raining on and off pretty much all weekend. But I'm going to try to get y'all set up so y'all can see exactly what it is I'll be doing today and how I'm doing it. Let me see. Okay. I might be able to set y'all up. Ooh. Right here. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna get y'all set up right here and do some more of my transplant. Alright, so now that I had that first one transplanted, let me get this bell out the way. I'm gonna start working on the next thing. After that, I gotta get my pot. Got all this stuff in the way. Let me get my pot first, y'all. Give me a second, y'all. Sorry about the wait. what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this 4-gallon pot that y'all see right here, and I'm going to put one of the tomato plant in here. That way it gives it enough size and amount of space to grow the way that it needs to. You don't have to keep worrying about stepping it up. And stepping it up is what we do, where you start a seed in a smaller container, and as the plant gets larger and larger and outgrows the container, then you step it up into another container altogether. So that's what we do with stepping up plants. And at least at this point, the way I have it on whoever is receiving it, that they don't have to put in as much work transplanting it. Now, it's always best to put your plants directly in the garden or directly into the ground, because that's where they want to be. That's where they have the most nutrients on a regular basis. That's where they can expand their roots out to their full potential and grow a nice, strong plant for you, produce as many food for you as possible. Whereas if you put it in a pot or a bag or something like this, you'll have to fertilize it a lot more often than you normally would, because you want to be able to get as much nutrients to the plant throughout the growing season as you possibly can. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up this larger pot, get these jalapeno out of the way. I'm going to set up this larger pot to take in some of this. So I have some mulch here mixed in with the soil at the top, so I want to get that out of the way. I don't want that to really be in the ground with the soil. Get that top layer of mulch off, then I'll put the soil in, and I'll start adding my nutrients. Now, most of the nutrients that I get, I typically get them from off of True Love Seeds website, which is a local seed company here in Philadelphia, black-owned business. But True Love Seeds, you can get nutrients from. I get certain things that I can get on a larger scale at Amazon, because Amazon will have things on a large scale for like farming and things like that. And in many cases, I want to be able to get as much of whatever it is I need at once, or buy it in bulk, so to speak. Buy it in bulk, so to speak, so that I can have it on hand for a long period of time and not have to run out of it really soon. So I'm gonna take as much of that out. I'm gonna have to go in the house and get more soil. Yeah, so see, I'm gonna have to do that. But did I bring my fabric? Oh, y'all, I'm gonna have to take y'all in with me, because I do not have everything I need. So let me just switch y'all around real quick, because I gotta go get all my tools and things I need. I need more soil, and I need to get this landscaping fabric to line the bottom of this pot. And I got all this stuff in the way, of course. I gotta go through a whole maze just to get to it. Good thing is it's not that far. I don't have to go far to get it. Just want to keep these flies out. But let me just take y'all with me to go get some more soil, because I need some more soil. I do have some out in the front yard. That I can take. This should be it right here. Yeah, this should be it right here. I think I have the soil that I need. Let me get one more bag, just to be on the safe side. Hold on one second. Oh, we're having a good Tuesday. What's the temperature like where you are? Just like I said, here in Philly, it is baking. It's hot. Sorry that it's getting a little dark. I'm trying to get through my house and getting them ready for sale as well. Once I'm ready to put those on my website, I'll update y'all. So yeah, let me get this soil. Sorry, it gotta be so dark. But I needed to run and get it real quick and not go that far. So I do have it now. I don't know how I'm maneuvering. Not on this one. Okay. To make it happen. Yes. And then I'll show y'all. Alright, so here comes that rain, y'all. Here comes the rain. Alright. So got that done. So now I need to start moving some of this soil. To the side. I'm leaving most of those. Can you see? Let me see. I'm leaving a lot of those at the very bottom right now to help with the drainage. So I'll mix this right on up. And now that I'm in the lower portion of it, always remember, y'all, if y'all have some soil that's completely dried out and it's real flaky in your hand, just add a little bit of soil at a time. Add your water and then go back and add more and more to allow the water to really flow through, all the soil. Just add a little at a time to saturate the soil. Alright, now this is topsoil. I gotta get a lot of those branches out of there. There's way more branches than this thing that I want. Let's get these out of here. This is, ooh, I don't know if y'all can see it from there, but it's a huge brown spider in this thing. That was living its best life. Alright, let me get some of these out before I add my other soil. Now, I'm gonna add eggshells. I had some eggs, washed out the center, removed that membrane that's on the lining of the eggshell, so that's not going in there. Let it dry out. And now I'm just gonna crumble that up and slowly add the broken eggshell for calcium. Because one thing that is very, very common for tomato plants is blight. Blight will ruin tomatoes. It's a disease that forms on a tomato plant and it's extremely, extremely common. And it will wipe out your crop. Also, you will get a lot of blossom rot if you don't have enough calcium in your mix as well. So I'm adding those eggshells, adding a little bit of organic tomato fertilizer 2 times over. Where's my box? I just had it. There we go. I always follow. I'm more familiar with doing this because I do it pretty often, but always follow the instructions on the box to let you know how much fertilizer you can add based on the amount of soil you have. And now I'm going to add some dry soil. And you'll see what I mean by the dry soil when I add this, because this soil I'm about to add is pretty dry. See how dry that is? How it just like blows in the air. That's the kind of soil that when you add it, just add a little bit of water at a time to saturate the mix so that you don't have those pockets of dry soil that isn't going to be helpful to your plant. I'm going to break up all of these clumps and add some soil. You already saw me put my dry fertilizer down, broke up my eggshells in. Now I'm just going to mix up my soil and fertilizer by half and add some water. And in general, I use down to earth, dry vegetable fertilizer, which is also good for tomatoes as well. But it's called down to earth. It's completely organic. It's 444 nitrogen, phosphorus, and nitrogen, NPK, potassium, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that you have in your, I don't know why I forgot that, my mind be going sometimes, but it has a 444 blend, which is good for your tomatoes. But like I said, I added my eggshell, so that's going to help to add more calcium to it. Now, before I add more soil, I'm going to take my water pail, add some more of this water. To help saturate what we already put in. Move this over some. Alright. Now I can go back and add more of my soil. And break up those clumps as you go along. Don't leave them in your soil. And I'm going to continue to add and break this down. Now I typically like to grow in my front garden the things that I know I like to eat on a regular basis, especially once it gets hot outside. And I only grow for myself the amount that I know I'll eat so that I don't have an excessive amount of waste. But the good thing I was able to do was create a compost pile in my front yard, so if I do have any waste, I can put it right into my compost pile, recycle those fruits and vegetables that I'm not eating, and not let them go to waste. Because then there'll be nutrients right for my soil that are going to bring back new plants, new fruits, new flowers. So that's all I do, but I'm just going to continue to add this soil, break this all down, get this thing ready for this tomato plant. And once I transplant a tomato plant out here, I'm going to show you there's many different things about the plant as you need to know when transplanting them. One thing to know is that tomatoes are pretty resilient. So they stand up pretty tough to a lot of things, and many of the seed strains that people are creating nowadays, they are built to fight against a lot of diseases. Now with that being said, they're not really an heirloom seed. They're something that was created over time, man-made, and it doesn't have its true properties to it. Versus we want to get back into producing the fruits and vegetables from yesteryear, which provided us a lot more nutrients than what they do now. Alright, it's going to be the last amount of soil I add, because then I'm going to put some mulch and compost on the very top of this as well. And I'm just going to add one last batch of dry fertilizer to this before I water this down and then transplant my plant. And I'm going to be taking it from out of the pot there. So I'll try to show y'all what that looks like when I transplant it. Hopefully I can be able to set up the camera well enough for y'all to see. We shall see. So, I'm going back to my down to earth. Just going to add just a little bit more to this top layer. Not going to add a whole lot. Just mix that on in. See how dry that soil is? How dusty it looks? Definitely want to add enough water to that mix as well. So, get the last of my clumps out of here. And now I'm going to add my water. Settle just a little bit. I'm going to add a little more. Now, keep in mind, I'll be adding a lot more water to this once I'm completely done, because I know this soil is not completely saturated all the way through. I did do, just a moderate watering, enough to get the juices flowing, if you will, so that way it doesn't take me as long to water it down later. Alright, so now that I've added that, gotta spot my nose. So, alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm ready to take this plant out of here. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can see that. Hopefully you can. But you see how I'm pulling that back? And see how it's still really dry in a lot of that area? That's what I mean. You gotta really saturate that soil. But I will definitely make sure there's enough soil later on. And I'll explain to y'all why that is important in one sec. So now, I'm going to move this one to the side. So, I'm going to change the camera view. See if I can get a better view. Get some stuff out of my way. That I know I do need this. I do need this. That's my compost. I'm done with this. This can go. Let me let y'all see this madness. This is the whole maze I'm trying to get through to get back into my house. This is life of a farmer, y'all. So let me move this plant out of the way. I will need this. This can go down. Sorry, y'all. I'm just all over the place. Sorry. Alright, let me get this stuff done. mask on so all of that dust don't be going all up in my face and in my nose. So let me get that out of the way. Do this. Pull this out of the way for now. Alright. So. Alright, I got that all out of the way now. Let me get some water. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna set these plants. I'm just trying to get some water, y'all. Give me 1 second. Alright, so come back to the party and join y'all. Let me see if I can get y'all set up. I hope so. Alright, I hope this is enough to be able to show y'all. So, this is the plant that I'm transplanting into, but I want to show y'all some of these tomato plants. So, on your tomato plant, hope it's not trying to focus on me and focus on the plant. Oh, I need to get out of there. Let me see if this helps. Come on, camera. But if y'all can see all those little hairs, all those little specks of things, those are actually roots waiting to happen. So you'll see them all along your tomato plant, all along the stalk. They're just all those little hairs that you have on your plant. So what I'm going to do is, hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to go right here where these two plants are. I'm going to go about 2 inches under if I can. Don't worry if you hear roots breaking, it's quite alright, because I want to get under the plant, or as far under the plant as I possibly can. Now I want to take these up and separate them. So now you see there's the root system to them. Alright, there's those little hairs that I was telling you about. And when I plant the plant in the ground, where is it at? Okay, here we go. When I plant it in the ground, I'm going to plant it. Take all this off so y'all can see a little better. But I'm going to plant it in the ground right about here. That's where all those roots are. So that all of those roots right here can develop, and it can actually strengthen the plant. So I'm going to plant one of these down to about that point. So I'm just going to take this plant and gently, or try to gently, break it apart there, right on top of one another. I'm going to break the larger one apart, which is this one, which is this one. So I'm going to take this larger one, loosen up the roots just a little. I'm going to create a space for it to go. And like I said, I'm going to do it, put it about 1 inch of the stalk into the ground. I'm going to remove all these low-hanging branches so that when it rains or when soil bounces, it doesn't land onto these and create disease. This out of the way. I'm going to press this down into the soil, and because we have this dry pot with the fresh roots that are growing in here, what we want is for when the water goes into the soil, for the water to fill up the soil and expand and then retract right around the roots of the plant. And that's what you really want to happen with the water. That water will go in and expand that water, and when it dissolves down or drains down, all the soil will retract right around that new plant and create a new home for it. So that's what we're doing right now. I have that up. Let me get one of my steaks now. Well, I'll get the steak when I'm done. I'll get the steak when I'm done. But now, I'm going to add this layer of compost from my yard. I'm going to add that to the very top layer. Spread that around evenly. Now that I've added it to the top layer, press it down. I'm going to get this to be straight. Now I'm going to add that mixed wood chips and branches and things like that to sit on top and prevent soil breakdown, retain the moisture, just like adding wood chips or straw or things like that. So those wood chips and things will break down. Wood chips will prevent that splashback. So that is generally what I'll show y'all the finished product. I'm gonna need to transplant one or more of these though. I gotta figure out what pot I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna transplant one more of these, but I'll get to that in 1 second. Get the rest of this out of here. Oops. I'm just making a mess. Alright, so I'll be right back. Let me get the rest of my mulch for the top of this plant. Alright. Now I'm going to take some more of that mulch I had, put it in the chop, wood chips, and things. And the best there. Now I can go back and do a heavy saturation. Ooh, I got this plant all in the way. I didn't even realize it. So this is what the top looks like with all the wood chips and things. See how far down I put it? Left those branches off. Now I'm just going to water this down, and this will get quite a few waterings because the soil is still dry underneath, like I was telling y'all. you want to do a nice heavy saturation. Just some more of this part over here. Make sure that this is good as well. But transplanting is not hard. Once you get the general basics down, you'll be handling these plants like I do. Before I used to handle these plants like they were an infant child. I was so afraid of breaking things, destroying things, and all that other stuff. But that comes with trial and error. You just have to practice your hand at it and learn and grow. And that's what I've been doing at least. I need to get one more of these out of here. So you know what? I'm gonna leave this be for now. I need to get one more out of here. I gotta get another pot, that's all. Get some of the stuff out of the way. So I can get my pots and bags where I need them. Stab my Dasha. There's just some better planning today. Jeez, wait. Alright. So that's in there doing its thing. This is over here doing this thing. Gotta put my bell pepper in here too. Alright. So that's the most the transplanting I think I'm gonna do today, y'all. I just wanted to show y'all a few things. I think that's the most I'm gonna transplant today. Now that I got y'all blocked out. But yeah, I think that's the most transplanting I'm gonna do for today. I do need to get some of the squash out. I might show y'all me doing that, but I gotta move some things around. So let me figure this out and then I'll come back to y'all and show y'all me moving the squash out. Alright, hope you're having a good Tuesday. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and always continue to love yourself, love one another, and keep growing for a better tomorrow. See y'all soon.